There are some truths in life that should remain locked away, secrets that, once spoken, change how others see you forever. Not because they're shameful or immoral, but because they dismantle the very pillars of attraction and respect that healthy relationships rest upon. Many men don't realize this until it's too late. In the name of honesty, they share too much, too soon, and unknowingly plant seeds of doubt, insecurity, or even resentment in the mind of the woman they care about. What I'm about to share with you are 5 of the most dangerous secrets you can reveal in a romantic relationship. These are not about lies or deception. Far from it. They're about understanding human psychology and the fragile balance of intimacy and attraction. When shared recklessly, these secrets don't just weaken a relationship, they can quietly and permanently unravel it. And a warning, the 5th secret is the most dangerous of all. It's the one that feels most natural to confess, yet it detonates like a bomb once it's spoken aloud. Once revealed, there's no going back. Let's dive into the 5 things that must stay in the vault. 1. Your deepest insecurities and self-doubts. Vulnerability can strengthen a bond, but there's a crucial difference between sharing your struggles and unloading your entire catalog of fears and inadequacies. I once saw this play out with my friend Jake. He was dating Lisa, an incredible woman who was attracted to his confidence, wit, and sense of direction. Their chemistry was undeniable. But one night, in what he thought would be a powerful display of vulnerability, Jake opened up about every insecurity he had ever carried. He confessed his fear of not being successful enough, his anxiety about his looks, his constant worry that she might find someone better. He thought this honesty would bring them closer. Instead, it shattered the very image she had fallen for. Lisa began to see him through the lens of his own self-doubt. The strong, confident man she admired was replaced with someone fragile, inadequate, and unsure of his worth. Within weeks, the relationship collapsed. Here's the truth. When you constantly expose your insecurities to your partner, you're asking her to carry the burden of constantly reassuring you. You stop being her equal and slowly turn her into your therapist. And attraction almost never survives that shift. 2. Your complete romantic and sexual history. A healthy relationship includes some conversation about the past. But there's a difference between acknowledging where you've been and providing a detailed diary of every romantic or sexual encounter. My friend Marcus learned this the hard way. He believed that true intimacy meant total transparency. One evening, while talking with his girlfriend Sarah, he shared every detail about his exes, what they were like in bed, the things they used to do together, even comparisons between Sarah and those past partners. Marcus thought this honesty would prove his trust. Instead, it haunted Sarah. Every time they were intimate, she wondered how she measured up. Every time another woman's name came up, she worried there was history there. The details that Marcus thought would bond them only created jealousy, insecurity, and mental images she couldn't erase. Psychologically, it's almost impossible not to compare yourself when you know too much about your partner's past. The more details you give, the more you invite insecurity into the relationship. The healthiest approach is to share broad lessons you've learned, not vivid play-by-play stories. Talk about growth, not comparisons. 3. Your breaking points and lowest moments. Every person experiences rock-bottom moments, times when life overwhelms you and you feel like you can't go on. They're part of being human. But sharing the full extent of these episodes can alter how your partner sees you in ways that sympathy alone can't undo. My friend David experienced this when he was dating Emma. He had gone through a rough period. Job loss, family struggles, and money problems all hit at once. During that time, he broke down completely. He cried for days, felt hopeless, and described it as the darkest period of his life. Later, when life had stabilized, David decided to tell Emma everything. He thought showing her his pain would help her understand and deepen their connection. But it had the opposite effect. Emma no longer saw him as the reliable, grounded man she had admired. Instead, she began to view him as fragile, someone who might collapse again under pressure. While she still cared for him, her perception of his strength and stability was permanently altered. Here's the psychological reality. When you share the full extent of your lowest moments, you can unintentionally flip the dynamic. Instead of being her partner, the strong and stable presence she looks up to, you become someone she feels she must protect. And that protective instinct often kills attraction over time. 4. Your financial fears and money anxieties. Money is one of the biggest stressors in relationships, and financial transparency is important. But there's a line between sharing practical details about your financial situation and unloading all of your anxieties about money. Take my friend Chris, for example. He was financially stable, but his upbringing in a financially unstable household left him with deep fears about money. He worried constantly about losing his job, about not saving enough, about failing to provide. One night, he poured all of this onto his girlfriend Jennifer. He told her about sleepless nights over bills, about obsessively checking his bank accounts, about his fear that he'd never be stable enough for a family. The irony: Chris was actually fine financially. But by voicing all of his fears, Jennifer began to see him as unstable and unreliable with money. His private anxieties became her anxieties. Instead of reassurance, she felt uncertainty about their financial future together. Money fears are contagious. When you burden your partner with all of your financial insecurities, you're not being transparent, you're transferring your stress to her. And that stress can eat away at trust and stability in the relationship. 5. Your desperation for the relationship to work. This final secret is the most destructive. It's the one that feels most natural to confess, but once revealed, it poisons the very attraction you're trying to protect. Many men, in a vulnerable moment, tell their partner how desperately they need the relationship to work. They admit that they'd be lost without her, that their life would feel empty if she left. They think it's the ultimate declaration of love. But in reality, it's the ultimate act of neediness. Here's the devastating truth. When you reveal how desperately you need the relationship, you shift from being a man she chooses to a man who depends on her for his identity and happiness. Instead of being the prize, you become the burden. And attraction dies under the weight of that need. Women want to be with men who desire them, not men who need them to survive. They want a partner who would miss them if the relationship ended, but who wouldn't crumble into nothingness. True attraction is built on strength, not desperation. Final thoughts. So there you have it, the 5 secrets that should never leave the vault: your deepest insecurities, your full romantic history, your lowest breaking points, your financial fears, and your desperation for the relationship to work. This doesn't mean you should be dishonest or build walls between yourself and your partner. It means you should practice discernment. Vulnerability has its place, but dumping every fear, insecurity, or dependence onto your partner doesn't create closeness. It erodes the respect and attraction that brought you together in the first place. The strongest relationships are not built between 2 incomplete people who need each other to feel whole. They're built between 2 complete individuals who choose to share their lives together. Keep some things in the vault. Your relationships will be stronger, healthier, and more enduring because of it.